Are you having trouble defeating some of the bosses in Conan Chop Chop? Well, today I'm going to give you some tips on taking on Thak and the Sandworm. So Thak as the first boss shouldn't be too difficult, but it may take a good few attempts before you get some decent charms or possibly some decent weapons and armour. Obviously a lot relies on luck, but the patterns of how they attack I can talk about. So he will do his rolling attack where he just rolls across the map, pretty much taking lots of damage to you. If you get hit by that, it does do quite a bit. So what you need to make sure is you've always got at least one dash ready to get out of the way. And as soon as he's hit something or stopped, that's when you can roll in and do as much attacks as possible. When he's done his melee attack like that, always make sure you dash up or down depending on what direction he's coming for you. As if you go left or right, he generally follows up with another couple of melee hits or a big pound attack. In between that, it's about taking out the ants, depending what they are. Any ones with grenades, definitely need to take them out as early as possible. But a lot of the other ants, they do take a long time to get to you. If you have gone a bit too far from Thak, try and get at least some arrows into him and make it worthwhile if he has been stunned for a second. It's also crucial you know when to stop attacking him. As soon as he roars, get away, because that's when he'll do his kind of free melee hit combo and it can really do enough damage. So yeah, as soon as he starts roaring, that's it, get as far away to the other side as possible. This will also give you a better opportunity to dodge his roll attack and move left to the right. And you kind of have to wait till the last minute before using your dash. But as soon as he roars, that's it, go the opposite direction. Thak has three stages. The first attack he does his rolling flapping arms and the free pronged melee. The second phase he does a bit more of a slower whirling arm attack, and this is designed to catch you out a little bit as it goes in more of a curve. But he still does have his other movesets as well. He still can do the rolling flapping arms. So again, you've still got to be careful to dodge out of the way. I would say just keep your range. Obviously if you are a ranger class, it's going to be a lot better, but you still probably need to get in and do a lot of melee critical hits with whatever melee weapon or combination you've got. His third and final attack pretty much has him raging and galloping about. This is where you can absolutely get wrecked. Even if you've got a full health pool, them 3 hits from him will knock you out, so you've got to be careful. Again, you can see he's pretty purple and ragey. That's because I've been doing poison damage on him. He's using all the attacks that he's had before, but he does hit harder and he does gallop around a bit more. You'll also notice as well that in the early stages he doesn't always do his ground pound if you've got enough distance, but he generally does it every single time. So that's why you should always, as I said, move up or down rather than left or right, because he has got the ability to cover quite a lot of ground. It's okay to take some time to take away some of the ads. Obviously they will respawn, but you've got a chance of them dropping hearts, so it's always a good idea to have a little breather, take care of any that are around, and then grab your hearts. And of course don't forget to smash up any pots that are around the edge of the arena, just in case there happen to be any. And once he's defeated, you'll get obviously a huge amount of rewards, tons of the star metal, and obviously lots of gold. On average I got around 800 gold, and you'll get anywhere from between sort of 5 and possibly even 15 star metals depending on the boss, but this time I only got 8. The drops are always random and more unique. They may end up being a charm, they might be a weapon, it all just depends what role you've got. So that's Thak defeated, now let's take a look at the Sandworm. Now it's time to take on the Sandworm. This guy has quite similar attacks in terms of how they get across the arena, but he's got some crucial differences. His main point of lots of damage is this: you just got to run around. Every time the rocks are falling, try and get out of the way. If you go right to the edges of the arena, they don't tend to fall as much, and then this is the most dangerous attack he'll do. This is the one you really got to look out for. So if you've got a double dash, you picked up anything that gives you that quick, or he cleanses your dash quickly, I'll definitely be using that as much as possible. Unlike with Thak, you can pretty much dodge in any direction when he's doing that, as long as it's obviously in the opposite. In a way, the Sandworm's easier than Thak in my opinion. You can clearly see where he's going to come out. You've got to pay attention to the tremors or the shockwaves from the ground when he pops, and you can still do quite a bit of damage to him with arrows as he's doing that while you're fighting some of the other ads and getting away. Also, another thing to remember is when he's using his rocks to fall from the ceiling down to the ground, well, again, you can still go in and try and get some hits on him. Again, with your bow or arrow, you don't actually take as much damage from these rocks as you would think, so it might be worth getting up close if you've got a melee critical hit character. This is probably, like I said, the most dangerous attack. It goes a bit slower than Thak's rolling ones, and it seems to have a little bit more range. Now the ads, the mobs, the enemies that are rolling around as well, I actually prefer these ones because the grenade throwers, you do get a bit more time in knowing when the grenade's going to go. Obviously they take a little bit more damage to get rid of, but I prefer them to the ones that you fight when you fight in fact and kind of just blow up. The other enemies are a bit tougher as well, and they do 3 hits, so sometimes you can get caught out if you're not actually using your shield enough, but I would say it's definitely a bit of an easier one. The guys that teleport, they're probably going to be the hardest ones that you face in here, and yeah, you do end up getting a lot more brains. That makes the enemies more health. Same things apply though. Look around for the pots on the edge of the arenas to get some more hearts, and just keep trying to get away from his whirling attack. As soon as he pops up and he's not calling out anything with just his tail, that's when you need to move away from him as much as possible. If you can switch to weapons that are going to do damage over time, like Bleed with Valeria, which has that as one of her skills, or Poison, then it's great because you'll be doing damage even when the Sandworm's gone into the ground. Here you can see me getting really close with my critical hit, and yeah, I did take about 1.5 hearts of damage, but at this point you should be having at least 5 or 6 hearts, definitely if you haven't got that many, or at least maybe 1 or 2 meats if you can hold more than 1 meat, and try and search more of the dungeons before you go into the boss fight. Again, don't be too scared to get away if there's just too many mobs around you. It's definitely worth it. And depending on what special ability you've got to time it so you do it when he's either doing that, where he's calling the rocks to fall, as that way he's not going to slip into the ground, and make sure you do it as soon as he pops out, or do it when he's actually using his tail attack. Because he doesn't go all the way around the arena, it can be pretty close, and it's a good time to use it as well. But yeah, if you do get hit by his swinging tail attack, it could be curtains for you. And that's the stages he's got. He pretty much just does it a bit more. In the second stage, he'll bring more rocks down. In the third stage, he generally just does a bit more damage with every attack. On this occasion, I got around 14 star metal, and in other times it's been around that number as well, so between 10 and maybe 15. And gold was about the same as taking on Thak actually, he only got about 800. And there you go, just some tips. They're not like a cheesy way to do it. There really isn't that kind of method in this game. It's all just about recognising and getting used to the patterns. Hopefully that's helped you. I'll go and check out the rest of my Conan Chop Chop guides that I'm going to be making, and I'll see you right back some more soon. Bye bye.